Reputation over profit, our cultural divide. Listen, folks, our current world values great riches and poor character often over good name, reputation, and character. And as the rich have grown richer and the poor, sadly, more poor, a divide has been created. And that divide should not be dividing the church, that's for sure. Today, I'm going to show you through the ancient Proverbs, that's right, ancient Proverbs, that ultimate success and profit are found in a good name, good character, and good reputation. So let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome back to Reason for Truth. You know, Reason for Truth, we always put the truth first. We come back that up with the reasons. But we're always constantly learning, because when we stop learning, we're not really teaching any longer, at least teaching well. And a lot of times that kind of deforms the truth, which, you know, if it's not the truth, it's a lie. Welcome to Reason for Truth. Proverbs 22, 1-2 says, "A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, and favor is better than silver or gold. The rich and the poor meet together. The Lord is the maker of them all." Listen, that is the truth. You know, when I was a young man, that was kind of, whether it certainly wasn't followed perfectly, but certainly was the law of the land, and it worked real well, knowing that God was at the helm, which he is. We just ignore him now, but people took that to heart, and they lived according to this. And so there wasn't as many ultra rich as there are now, and the divide was not as much. It's partly a political issue, but it's also an issue of man's greed and his lack of God's wisdom and adherence to God's ways and belief in God. But let's break this down, and then I'm going to comment on the depth of what God is saying here. Now, let's look at what God said, a good name. What does he mean by that? Well, this speaks to the fact that good character and the reputation, our reputation, that should go with that character is to be chosen before profit, riches, and power. Honestly, today, it's almost the reverse of that. People say, hey, if you're rich and powerful and, you know, you're independent, then you've made it, and that's better. People say, like, a good reputation, who follows that anymore? Some do, but few, only a few. Small percentage of the culture does that. I grew up at a time where my last name is Garofalo. I was told, do not mar the Garofalo name. And I took pride in that, and I take pride in that, right? That's my father's name. I take pride in not marring anything for my brothers and my sister, my mother, and certainly my father and grandparents. I wouldn't do anything that would disgrace their name. That would be a disgrace on me, and why would I want to harm them? But anyways, that's God's wisdom. Ultimately, as a believer of Jesus Christ, we don't want to set a bad example, and people say, look at that Christian. Horrible reputation, but he's wealthy. Oh, and he gives some money away too. But listen, he's a crook, and he looks the way he treats people. We want to avoid that. This proverb, by the way, points out that a reputation has more value than possessions or wealth, and that a name cannot be replaced easily, not even with lots of money. Verse 2 goes on to say, the rich and poor meet together. What does this mean? The Lord is the maker of them all, right? Both of them. Eloquently repeats the theme of riches in verse 1. God makes both the rich and the poor, right? This means that those who favor rich over the poor, you read about that in James 2, have not only missed the point of creation, but also have insulted the Creator. Yeah, himself. Check out chapter 14, verse 31, which says, this Proverbs, whoever oppresses a poor man insults who? His maker. That's God. But he who is generous to the needy honors him. In conclusion, wealth should not be valued above reputation. Verse 1, a good reputation, meaning a good name, is worth more, right? Wealth alone cannot secure that. Only wisdom can. You read about that in chapter 3, verses 1-4. Wealth should also not give one an attitude or some kind of superior air about themselves. Verse 2, remember, the rich and the poor have a common bond, and that is both are created by the Lord. And so both are image bearers of him. I like to say everyone puts their pants on. I don't care if you're Warren Buffett. He's a pretty humble guy. But I don't care if you're president of the United States, past president. Now, you see a lot of haughty people, especially in Hollywood, right? Really wealthy. What? They're good, you know, so what? They did movies, got paid a lot of money. So what? What about the poor person who's working 3 jobs to feed their family? I would say there's more noble character in that, right? But either way, God created them both. They're both equal, right? In God's eyes. This really should be a school of virtue for both, right? The poor shall not envy the rich, Proverbs 30:31, and the rich shall not despise the poor. No deplorables here, folks. Our current world values great riches and poor character, right, of a good name, reputation, and character. And as image bearers of God, we must remember that both the gap between the rich and poor must be shortened. We must do that. It should not be, and not through socialism, but helping people and just freeing people to make money, and also teaching people to use their resources rightly, but not put money in front of raising their children, not seeing their children grow up, etc. As the rich have grown richer and the poor more poor, divide has been created, and divide should not be dividing the church. I want to close with this. Both should be striving to establish a good name and godly character. And if we can do this, peace will once again prevail over the United States and every country in the world, all around the world, as ultimate success and profit are found in what? In a good name, good character, and a good reputation. And those things all reflect God's truth and his goodness. And that is the bottom line, folks. That being said, let's marinate on that. Let's make sure we share this with our children, with our co-workers. I think everyone would agree, even from all other religions. So anyways, that being said, thanks for tuning in. If you want to get some more training, I want to invite you to join my community at StephenGarofalo.com. And also check out EquippedAcademy.com for some online training. Make sure before you leave bed, you, boom, share this with others. Like it, subscribe, boom. We'll see you at the next video. I'm your host, Stephen Garofalo, and this is your Reason for Truth for today.